Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the MedTech Actuator Showcase for 2021. We've let you all out of your homes, and now we're going to actually relax and have fun and think of innovative things together. To begin, let me just start by acknowledging the traditional owners of the land on which we're all meeting today. I'm used to the online version of this. And for us here, it's the Wurundjeri people of the Eastern Kulin Nation. And I pay my respects to elders past, present, and elders from all cultures and traditions who are joining us here today. So, ladies and gentlemen, many of you will know me and Michelle, but let me just say a few words. So I'm Vishal, I'm one of the two co-founders. As Buzz likes to refer to me, I'm the lesser co-founder of the MedTech Actuator. I think he's just talking about it because I'm much younger than him, so that's probably what he means. And I have the privilege of being the Deputy CEO and the Chief Strategy Officer of the MedTech Actuator. And on behalf of Buzz, myself, and our entire board and organization, we're so thrilled to have you all here. It was very much touch and go for quite a long period, but we're all here. 3 dimensions are being displayed. It's really wonderful. Let me also introduce Michelle Gallagher. If you don't know who she is, you've been living under a rock, but that's actually true for the last 2 years. So the Batman to my Robin, the Beyonce to my Kelly Rowlands, yeah? Or if you prefer, the Bryony Fisher to my Dot. Yeah? So Michelle Gallagher, many of you, all of you should know who she is. She's a MedTech Actuator board member. She's the CEO of the ASX-listed Opal company. And if you care about innovation, you should definitely know about Opal. She's a pioneer of women in STEM and a great friend to Buzz, myself, and the entire ecosystem. So, Michelle, welcome.
Oh, thank you for having me.
It's wonderful to be together again today. Thank you. It feels quite different managing a room than managing a Zoom room, doesn't it?
It feels different not being in activewear. But this dress is very stretchy.
Well, I've been told by a certain high-profile businessman who's joined us today that underneath his dinner suit, he's wearing a pink T-shirt and shorts, and he's just ready. At any moment, I can hear him laughing already. He's ready. So there'll be a special agenda item for that a little bit later. Ladies and gentlemen, tonight, we celebrate entrepreneurship in a way that we have not been privileged to celebrate it for the last couple of years. And we celebrate entrepreneurship in many different forms, in its multiple forms. We've been locked up for so long, and we thought we would do something different today. It's different because, unfortunately, this is about half the size of our usual end-of-year celebration. But the energy in the room, and I suspect the amount of alcohol we're all going to get through, is going to double what we've done before. So keep an eye on the Twitter handle. For the first time, we at the MedTech Actuator have combined our Origin final. So our Origin competition is for the early stage entrepreneurs. Although you might very well think, when you see some of these new entrepreneurs, that are they really that new? Could it be the case that they haven't done it before? So we've combined our Origin final with our Accelerator program demo day. So you'll be hearing from some more developed startups who've spent more time developing their ideas, working with partners, working with many of you from the ecosystem. And so you'll hear a thrilling array of pitches and a thrilling array of stories today. And even more than this, we'll be announcing some fantastic new science entrepreneurs with our dear friends from the Menzies Foundation, and we'll hear more of that soon. Now, friends, as we've become fond of saying, innovation really does know no bounds. So we've adapted to the weirdness of the moment. Buzz Palmer took a very special risk saying, no, we're going to do something. He put a stake in the ground or a flag in the moon or something. We're going to do something in person. And so we took the risk, we planned it all out, and so it's just brilliant to be together. Because some of our colleagues from Singapore who would otherwise have joined us have not been able to join us, and our colleagues from certain parts of Australia have not been able to join us, there's a sort of special hybridity in what we're doing today. There will be real live entrepreneurs on that stage over there. There will also be real live entrepreneurs on screens that we'll also enjoy as well together today. the night is being recorded as well. So then, because we've only been able to have a select group of you in the room today, we'll be sharing with our broader ecosystem the faux pas of tonight, Michelle. So after a very hard 2021 on the back of an annoying 2020, please kick back as best you're able to in black tie and be entertained. This is better than Netflix. You're better than Netflix. I may not be better than Netflix, but they are going to be better than Netflix. So join. We're so thrilled that you're here. Join us in having a really wonderful time. You have very little to do, though not nothing to do, and so it's your job to enjoy, celebrate, and support these fantastic entrepreneurs and innovators that we're going to hear from today.
Thank you. And tonight we'll be making sure we trend #1 on Twitter, as we always do. So get your phones out. It doesn't mean that you're checking, the webcam to see what the dog or the kids are doing at home. So feel free to tweet or check your emails, whatever. You can get away with both. And so the hashtag tonight is MedTech Superheroes. And tonight you'll see some genuine superheroes on stage. You're a bit of a superhero in my eyes.
Well, as I said, I'm the Robin to your Batman.
Yeah,
so
right.
it's a lesser superhero.
Yeah, so let's get these formalities underway and get this party started.
Let's do it. So, ladies and gentlemen, allow me to begin by introducing Dr. Ashley Bates, the Director of Medical Technologies and Pharmaceuticals Industry at Oz Industry. Dr. Bates has worked in the biomedical industry in the UK, USA, and Australia, including engaging with Australia's small and medium enterprises through roles at GlaxoSmithKline. He has national oversight for the medical sector as part of the Manufacturing Excellence Task Force Australia, and is currently the Medical Technologies and Pharmaceuticals Sector Director for the Australian Government's Entrepreneur Program. So this, ladies and gentlemen, is a man that you should know. With a position description that covers the entire gamut of incubation and growth support for Australian businesses, with helping them to grow capabilities and networks, engaging with researchers, fostering innovation, and encouraging commercialization. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Dr. Ashley Bates.
Good evening, everybody. So this is like being on Zoom, right? I've got a green button I have to press to get myself off mute. Does it sound familiar? Look, I'd also like to acknowledge the traditional owners of the land on which we are meeting. I would like to pay my respects to elders past and present, and to any Aboriginal elders of other communities who may be here today. Look, it's wonderful to be here. It's great that you've all come out to this wonderful event. I work within the Entrepreneurs Program within the Department of Industry. We have a program that has a number of elements, but probably the three that are most relevant here is a commercialization program that helps young businesses commercialize new opportunities and provide advice and support and mentorship. We have a program that helps companies innovate, which is to say we help companies access the intellect, the capability, the resources that are available within public institutions in this wonderful country. And we have a business growth program which helps put companies in contact with experienced businessmen to help them build business capability. These are just a small number of the programs that are offered. This is a remarkably diverse sector that we all are lucky to be engaged in. We have a multiple number of programs. To give you just a couple of examples, we have a venture capital. You're probably aware of the venture capital partnership program. And I'm told that over the life of the program, it's probably the entities that are delivering that are probably responsible for about $10 billion worth of funding into young companies, over 1,800 businesses. We have a Boosting Female Funders program, which is just about to come into its second round announcement. Again, that supported in the first round some $12 million worth of support for about, I think it's around 50 young female entrepreneurs. Biomedical Translation Program is another one that's managed within the department. Again, there's probably, we estimate, about $259 worth of investment that's come into our companies. So it's a very diverse series of, or portfolio of programs to match a very diverse sector that we have here. But the one thing that's wonderful about this sector, and I don't think we give this enough credit, it's actually a community, all right? I mean, everybody knows everybody in this sector. And it's something we don't make enough of, I suspect. But that community is a result of events like this one, right? And other events like it. So I commend Buzz, Michelle, everybody involved in firing this thing up. I commend its continued operation and the fact that we're actually meeting here in person. So, look, I hope you enjoy your dinner. I know you'll enjoy the pictures as they come up. And yes, thank you.
Thank you.
Now, can I invite Liz Gillies to come to the stage? The MedTech Actuator is proud to partner across the ecosystem, from the large end of MedTech to the broader investment community, from our dynamic product development system to Australia's powerful philanthropic space. And one of our key alliances and one of our closest friendships is with the Menzies Foundation. We've been working together for multiple years to strengthen the innovation funding space and especially to unleash the power of science entrepreneurs in the MedTech and health space. I'd now like to introduce you all to Liz Gillies. She's the Chief Executive of the Menzies Foundation, and she brings over 20 years' experience in social impact, philanthropy, leadership development to the role of Chief Executive Officer of the Foundation. She's worked across not-for-profit and university and across many years, including 6 years with the Melbourne Business School at the University of Melbourne, government and private sectors, and also an entrepreneur in her own right, setting up her own business.
Terrifyingly so, but anyway.
Excitingly, Liz is here to announce to you all the MedTech Actuator Menzies Fellowship, MedTech Actuator Fellowship recipients for 2022. Tell us more about that. Welcome, Liz.
Thank you very much. I'd too like to acknowledge the traditional owners of the land on which we stand and their ancestors past and present. Sir Robert Menzies embodied many leadership qualities that remain important today, including integrity, strong values, a regard for all Australians and pride in our nation, all of which provided a strong core from which he devoted his life to service. The Menzies Foundation aspires to ensure that Sir Robert Menzies' legacy as a leader continues to inform and influence a contemporary understanding of leadership. Based on his example, the Menzies Foundation aspires to raise the profile and importance of outstanding leadership, to encourage Australians to reflect on leadership, build their own leadership capability, and most importantly, contribute to the greater good. After 2 years of the pandemic, we are much more aware of the importance of adaptability, resilience, and an entrepreneurial disposition. Our work in leadership underscores the importance of these qualities as the community deals with the complexity of challenges we face as a country, in our region, and the world. This year, the Foundation has particularly focused on purpose as a ballast from which leaders can prepare for the challenges ahead. Your purpose, the people sitting in this room, most of you very motivated by purpose, your purpose is the place from which you can connect to our leadership movement. The place to start in considering your leadership attributes, build your leadership capability, and contribute to the greater good. Like our namesake, we are committed to supporting leadership initiatives that grapple with issues that are germane to Australia's future. To do this, the Foundation leverages our expertise in partnership brokering to support multi-sector collaborations which identify leadership challenges, seek new insights to develop innovative solutions, pilot interventions, and build collaborations for scale and impact. The Spinning Out Supporting Science Startups in Australia report, released by the Foundation in 2020, it's a magnificent read, so if you haven't seen it, please find it on our website, highlighted the challenges entrepreneurial scientists face when attempting to establish enterprises to commercial science-based innovation. The Foundation is absolutely delighted to be working in collaboration with the MedTech Actuator to address this challenge by incubating a talent investor approach which supports high potential science entrepreneurs to navigate the funding and resource cliff between research and the development of investable enterprises. Earlier this year, we announced 10 outstanding MedTech Actuator Menzies Scholars, many who are in the room tonight, and Buzz, who I think's at the back, and I had the most extraordinary privilege of judging and awarding those scholars. They really were so inspirational in terms of the promise and the opportunity that our young scientists offer this country. And each of those were awarded 10,000 scholarships, many of them are here tonight, and have since attended an intensive program focused on the commercialisation of their research. Tonight, it gives me great pleasure to announce the 2022 MedTech Actuator Menzies Fellows. This fellowship is offered annually to 2 prestigious scientists. Each fellowship is valued at $70,000, includes a $20,000 stipend and a 12-month fellowship program delivered through the MedTech industry-led Accelerator leadership and mentoring program. Like the co-founders of the MedTech Actuator, my colleagues and friends, I hope, Professor Buzz Palmer and Vishal Kaur, these fellows exemplify the leadership qualities and attributes I mentioned before. Focused on purpose, committed to the greater good, global in ambition, entrepreneurial and comfortable in complexity, these are the qualities we need to nurture in our leaders of the future. Could I ask Warwick and Gregory to join me on stage, please? The 2022 Fellows are both driving innovation along the commercialisation pipeline, bringing neuropharmacology and lab-on-chip technologies closer to market. With the guidance and support from the program, these Fellows will be able to unlock the potential of their work to improve and save lives. And so without further ado, it gives me great pleasure to give Dr. Warwick Scott Nesbitt, Senior Research Fellow at the Australian Centre for Blood Diseases. I'll just quickly say a few words. Warwick is current laboratory head of the Haematology Microplatforms Group within the Australian Centre for Blood Diseases at Monash University. And Dr. Nesbitt's multidisciplinary group focuses on the development of a novel lab-on-a-chip technology which will be transformational in terms of helping the world address the SDGs. So tonight I'm delighted to give you a book on Sir Robert Menzies. You'd be amazed how important the history of our country and our nation is in referencing the future. So congratulations. And a medal of Sir Robert Menzies that I hope you keep and remember his legacy in terms of as we continue to take what his great commitment to science into the future. So congratulations. And finally, Dr. Greg Stewart, Research Fellow, Drug Discovery Biology. Greg received his PhD in molecular pharmacology from the Department of Pharmacology at Monash University in 2009. Following postdoctoral studies in France to deepen his understanding of neuropharmacology, Dr. Stewart has been working at the interface of academia and the pharmaceutical industry to drive programs to discover better medicine with a particular focus on the treatment of schizophrenia. So similarly, it gives me great pleasure, Greg, to present you with a book on Sir Robert Menzies and a medal. No problems at all. Congratulations to both fellows. And back to you, Vishal, I think I have to do.
Thank you very much, Liz.
So can I introduce and maybe welcome our distinguished guests here tonight. Minister Jaala Pulford, who's running a little bit late, but she'll be coming along, and Professor Graham Samuel, Peter Jopling, Rebecca Davies, Kathy Connell, Dr. Dan Grant, Dr. Kate Cornick, who was going to be here, but I think she sent a substitute player, didn't she?
Yeah, I think she sent the minister. Yeah.
Oh, the minister?
Yeah, so.
And Dr. Mukesh Harkamwal, who's great friend and chair of the MedTech Actuator. We'd also like to acknowledge our premier sponsor for tonight's showcase, the Australian Government, Department of Industry, Science, Energy and Resources, and Oz Industry. We'd also like to thank our foundation and product development partners for all of their constant and continued support for both the MedTech Actuator and for our ecosystem here in Australia. So first of all, the Victorian Government, Department of Jobs, Regions and Precincts, LaunchVic, the REDI program with MTPConnect, Enterprise Singapore, Johnson & Johnson, Medtronic, Ernst & Young, Cook Medical, Boston Scientific, Ramsay Health, FB Rice, Minter Ellison, the Menzies Foundation, RMIT University, La Trobe University, Design and Industry, Procept, Cambridge Consultants, Outer Space, IDE and Entech Electronics. And a special shout out to our ecosystem friends and supporters. Many of them are here tonight and some are down there in that camera, in another place, not in Melbourne.
No.
But without you, we would not be able to run this event tonight. So on behalf of the Actuator, thank you so much.
we talk a lot about ecosystem. We talk a lot about the relation. Can you hear me? Is that working? Doesn't sound like it's working. Thank you. So at the MedTech Actuator and in our space, we talk a lot about ecosystem and relationships and paying it forward and these sorts of things. This year, the MedTech Actuator did a little something with our programs. So as many of you know, I think it's 93% of our programs are taught by people who are industry experts and leaders in a range of different places and spaces. Many of them are you. And what we offered you this year was the opportunity to donate speaking fees to a particular charity. And we picked the Cure Cancer charity. And together with speakers from the Accelerator and the Origin and our Origin programs, we raised nearly $4,000, that number's up a little bit. We raised closer to $4,000 to support early stage career cancer researchers who are working across all areas of cancer and cancer research. Over the past 54 years, Cure Cancer has raised about $81.3 million to support 534 life-saving research grants across all types of cancer. So we've got a bit of catching up to do. But their vision is to make this the last generation that will die of cancer. It's a beautiful vision. It's a wonderful mission. And we would love for you to Google them when you have a chance and learn more of their wonderful work. And thank you for helping us to support in all kinds of ways the work of great organizations doing wonderful things in health and well-being. So thank you all very much. Ladies and gentlemen, it's now my distinct privilege and pleasure to introduce to you the Honourable Minister Jaala Pulford to open our showcase tonight. Now, as many of you will know well, she's the Minister for Employment, the Minister for Innovation, Medical Research and the Digital Economy, and not to mention the Minister for Small Business and the Minister for Resources. But put another way, ladies and gentlemen, Minister Pulford is our minister. She's the minister for our part of the ecosystem. She's the minister that is working hard to support the work that we all do in this room. She's the minister who, when you wake her up at 2 o'clock in the morning, says MedTech as the first thing that she says. And that's a rare minister, ladies and gentlemen. And so it's just wonderful to have you here, Minister. Thank you for joining us. Now, Minister Pulford has played a significant role, as many of you will be well aware, in the government's COVID-19 response, which has included record investment in small business support, massive investment in COVID-19 and similar medical research and assistive technologies, the establishment of the Australian Institute for Infectious Disease, and support of local mRNA vaccine manufacturing. Minister Pulford has been a strong advocate for innovation and the tech sector over many years, recognising the sector's role in improving people's lives and generating the jobs and the economic sectors of the future. We at the MedTech Actuator are extraordinarily grateful for the support, Minister, that you give us as an organisation and all of our friends across the sector. Crucially, Minister, your work towards not just the economic upliftment, but the enrichment of lives and well-being is something that we hold really dear. Minister, welcome. Thank you for joining us. Please say a few words to us.
Thank you so much for that introduction. That is like the scariest just-in-time arrival I've done in 15 years as a Member of Parliament. Traffic is abysmal. But anyway, here, it's so nice to see you and you all look amazing. I left home on Monday, so this is like the best black tie I could put together with what I had in Melbourne. So I want to come back next year and try the outfit thing again. But anyway, you all look absolutely magnificent. And it's a wonderful, how good is it to be in a room with people that you can like poke with your finger. It's the best. So lovely to see you and to be here, and happy end of 2021. What a shocking ordeal it's been for everybody. There's a few people that I would like to acknowledge, but first of all, I would like to acknowledge the traditional owners of country that we are gathered on today, and to pay my respects to elders, past, present and emerging. And also, I'd particularly like to acknowledge any First Nations people who are with us in this glorious part of Melbourne today, and to recognise their enduring connection to this land that we all call home. So Buzz, Dr. Buzz, who was we're having real-time texts about arriving and dealing with that traffic. Professor Graham Samuel, Dr. Mukesh Hakawal, Peter Jobling, AM QC, Rebecca Davies, AO, Dr. Dan Grant, MD and CEO, Liz Gillies, CEO at Menzies, Arthur Brandwood, lots of important people that have done extraordinary things and will continue to do extraordinary things, but tonight's really about the people that are going to do extraordinary things next. And so to all of the people who are being recognised, who are making pitches and who will be awarded and featured tonight, this really is your night, and I'm very excited to see what you are going to do next. So yeah, I do actually, if I wake up in the middle of the night, MedTech, what's going on? What's going on with mRNA? Oh my goodness. What's going on with all of these exciting new innovations and products being developed? There's sort of amazing synergy that's going on between our extraordinary health research capability, our financiers and that part of our ecosystem, and the product developers and designers and distributors. And I think it was Buzz who said we spent like 2 months in like roundtables with the people from Breakthrough Victoria. And I do think that it was Buzz who said, the people who solve the problems and the people who the people who identify the problems and the people who solve the problems, different kinds of people. And I think that's sort of the essence of what this is all about. This is all about this sort of amazing connection between people who have identified problems, people who have found solutions to them, and then people who can help them turn that into a going concern so that it can become real for patients. And I am super excited to be your minister, I really am. There aren't too many things that are more important to people than the health and well-being of the people that they love. And that's the business that you are all in. And whether it's, a new knee, a new, something to diagnose something scary and strange in a tiny, tiny little baby that you had hoped would be easy and perfect, to make sure that people have a good care and great well-being at the end of life. And I know that's why you all get out of bed or what you all worry about at 2 o'clock in the morning. But of course, these things need to be able to be successful business propositions. And so what MedTech Actuator does is bring all of that together. And so here we are in this extraordinary city here in Victoria where we have biotech capability, product development that stands proudly in the top very small number of places in the world. And Victoria has lots of good, clever people doing lots of amazing things, but we are, without like a word of exaggeration, in the top 3 in the world, and that's something we can be proud of in our not very enormous city, in our not super densely populated country. I held in my hand the other day Australia's first mRNA COVID vaccine candidate, which is also Australia's first mRNA product. Now it's not at scale yet, it's just moving now in that very exciting step into those phase 1 clinical trials. But in Boronia, in 5 months, they have worked out how to manufacture this product. So, that is just so exciting. We also have, of course, that key R&D infrastructure and that advanced manufacturing capability that brings all of these things together so powerfully. So more than 40% of ASX-listed life science companies call Melbourne home, and our MedTech and pharma exports have grown to be worth over $3 billion a year. I used to be the agriculture minister. We used to talk about exporting things worth billions of dollars all the time. This is amazingly powerful, very, very important for the state's economy. But again, I think what I get most excited about is the quality of life of people at each stage of their life, and that's super, super exciting. So MedTech is Victoria's highest value export product category. And the government's made a whole lot of commitments and investments and policies and programs and all kinds of things to help you succeed, which we are thrilled to do. So a MedTech manufacturing centre is being developed. Last week I had the pleasure of launching an innovation statement which brings together in a really cohesive plan and vision a whole lot of different things that we're doing, things about enriching our, our VC and our financial capability, but also, the full suite, not just in MedTech, but across all of those other areas of innovation and research endeavour where we are so strong. And we also recently announced a new angel group, Australian Medical Angels, supported through our startup agency, LaunchVic. So it's all about the ecosystem. It takes an ecosystem, and we need strong industry partners like the MedTech Actuator to help nurture our next wave of success stories, which is what we're here to celebrate tonight. The MedTech Actuator has genuinely been a game changer. Like, that can get thrown around a bit, and often it's a bit of hyperbole. It's absolutely, completely true, and an entirely apt use of that game changer language. Supporting and mentoring local startups, providing that skills, expertise, and investment support to grow and reach, not just here but around the world. So fast-tracking development with intensive mentoring, capital support means that when our businesses emerge, they are ready to take on the world. Having helped over 55 startups in 3 years, which is quite extraordinary, that has enabled $62 million in venture funding, created 210 jobs, and trained over 2,500 clinical and research innovators. And you get such a powerful sense about the potential that flows from that. And now the MedTech Actuator team are working with a whole lot of international partners to guide the expansion and support the expansion of their own MedTech startups. So this brings Victorian capabilities to the world, and it's something you should all be very proud of, the part that you play in it. We're proud to see how Dr. Buzz Palmer and the team have grown this program from its very early origins. We're delighted as a government to be a supporting partner of the MedTech Actuator and to have been so since 2014, and to have witnessed the rise of some really incredible startups, including Ventura Medical, Synchron and Talkie Play, but not to exclude any others. And so I'm really pleased to share with you tonight, we've just confirmed that we'll be supporting the MedTech Actuator over the next 3 years, which is fabulous. So congratulations to you for that. So yes, 3 more years of amazing, and goodness knows what will come after that. Really look forward to seeing the presentations and seeing how everybody goes tonight. You should be incredibly proud of what you're doing, changing lives, saving lives, creating jobs. It's just awesome, and I'm really so pleased to be able to walk with you on this journey. Thanks for having us. Have a great evening.
Minister, thank you so much for sorting out something that keeps Buzz and I up at 2 o'clock in the morning. So we're thrilled to receive your support again. So thank you for joining us. Michelle, should we get to business?
Yeah, I think it's about time we got this party started. So we're going to hear some pictures. Remember to tweet the hashtag. So the hashtag is MedTech Superheroes. Now, it takes enormous courage to get up on this stage, doesn't it? You and I have done it. I'm a lot better at it than you are. But generally, it takes high heels and a lot of courage. So please make our teams feel welcome as we go through. We're going to hear 3 rounds of pitches, and we hope you'll join us in cheering for these wonderful, wonderful teams. Now, there's nothing like a bit of friendly competition to sharpen the senses and a pitch. So each pitch will be about 3 minutes, and we'll have our panel of esteemed judges down the front here who'll decide on 2 prizes. And those prizes are, the first one is the Origin Early Stage Entrepreneurship Competition. We have the J&J Origin Prize worth $15,000 for the best pitch of the night. And then there's the Actuator cohort, the more developed companies, that we have the Actuator Prize, which is $10,000 for the best startup pitch from the Actuator cohort. And so you may ask, who are the judges for the night? I asked that, and you told me rubbish when I asked you. But turns out
They're
they're
good.
exactly who I thought it was. So can I introduce to you Kathy Connell, who's a great friend of the Actuator and a great friend of mine too. Kathy's the Senior Director of New Ventures for Australia and New Zealand for Johnson & Johnson Innovation. And she's probably responsible for more deals done in this country than anybody else. I think it would be in the billions now. And Kathy initially she was a clinician and brings a wealth of experience across many pharma companies and biotech companies that she's worked with. There is virtually no one that Kathy doesn't know. And you may know Kathy from the Johnson & Johnson Partnering Office in Melbourne and also Brisbane. But frankly, you'll see her in just about every state. Now that the borders are opening, there'll be no stopping her. So thank you very much, Kathy. It's lovely to have you here.
Our second judge is Dr. Dan Grant, who many of you again will know well as the Managing Director and Chief Executive Officer of MTPConnect. Now, Dan has spent more than 25 years in senior roles in one of those diverse careers across pharmaceutical, higher education, and medical research sectors. Prior to joining MTPConnect in 2018, Dr. Grant was the inaugural Pro-Vice Chancellor for Industry Engagement at La Trobe University, where he had oversight of the university's innovation, commercialization, and industry engagement activities. He was also Senior Director and Head of Pfizer's External Research and Development Innovation Group, a group that's getting a lot of play, Dr. Grant, for ANZ in Singapore, and their Head of Open Innovation. Dr. Grant, welcome. Thank you.
And can I introduce you to Dr. Mukesh Hakamwal, who AC is the chair of the MedTech Actuator Board and also known as the gentleman on the board.
Indeed.
That's not you.
No, it's certainly not me.
Mukesh is a general practitioner and formerly the 19th president of the Australian Medical Association. He was made a Companion of the Order of Australia for eminent service to medicine, having previously been awarded the Order of Australia for distinguished service to medicine, and has served on the Prime Minister of Australia's Council, the National Health and Hospital Reform Commission, formulating a future vision for Australia's health. He's a professorial fellow at Flinders University, Adelaide, and has held board positions across Cancer Victoria, Beyond Blue and Brain Injury Australia. In 2020 and 2021, Mukesh coordinated and led ongoing lobbying for the provision of adequate supply of protective equipment for those dealing with COVID. And you've probably seen him on the telly, because he's always on the telly.
Always on the telly.
And has played such a key role, particularly in providing extraordinary primary care to many Victorians, particularly those Victorians in his electorate. Sounds like he's running for maybe I said
Maybe
something interesting there. Mukesh, we'll talk later. Welcome.
And friends, I told you that you wouldn't have anything to do, or almost nothing to do, but we are going to invite you all to be judges as well. So the last prize that we have is a prize that's been sponsored by the federal government. It's the People's Choice Award for the best pitch. The winner will take home a little bit of money, and everyone in the room gets to decide. So you can see a QR code printed on your brochure, which should be where your food will eventually be. We'll tell you when the poll goes live, and you can scan that QR code. It'll stay open for 30 minutes, and you can vote for your favorite pitch. So please pay good attention, because your vote is going to show itself in dollars for our friends. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's let the show begin. We're going to start with the Origin finals. These are our first round entrepreneurs. They're new entrants. They're baby Wolverines, ladies and gentlemen. And you're going to hear 3 pitches from our amazing entrepreneurs who have battled it out against tens and tens of other baby Wolverines. They've been through an intensive sprint. They've done all kinds of wonderful things. And now there are 3. And so you'll get to see those. Cue the video, my friend. Never mind the video. So you're on mute. No,
It's a Zoom
the Origin teams are going to be introduced by their product development mentors, our partners and our sponsors who have been helping them through this process. So first up, I'd like to introduce to you Paul Carboon from outer space, who will introduce our first pitch.
Hello all, isn't it fantastic to be here again and see each other? What an amazing event. It's Outer Space's great pleasure to have mentored Vysum. I just want to quickly run through this. Have you ever looked into a bright light and thought, where are my eye drops? Well, okay, fantastic. So how are you going to put them in? That is a question in itself, isn't it? Imagine now having a disease in your eye which can be completely treated by accurate delivery of one drop. Fantastic. Our pleasure.
My name is Loris, co-founder of Vysum. More than 80 million people in the world suffer from glaucoma. Once diagnosed, they need to use daily eye drops to prevent blindness. We surveyed 500 glaucoma patients and specialists. Treatment compliance is as low as 40% because 64% of patients have difficulty administering eye drops, half suffer from side effects due to incorrect dosage. Both factors contribute to treatment non-compliance, which cannot be tracked by clinicians to intervene or adjust treatments. So we created Documate to make eye drop delivery easier. First, you rest over your eye and tilt back. When you see a green light, press the button and a therapeutic dose will accurately land in your eye. Your compliance is recorded by the app and available to your clinician. We have validated this concept with key hospitals in Melbourne. Most existing eye drop dispensers address patient pain points partially. They may deliver correct dosage, but still require manual squeezing. Ocumate addresses them holistically. It fully automates administration, provides accurate aiming, correct dosage, and connects patients and clinicians for better care. We'll reach our customers through their ophthalmologists, 84% of whom want access to compliance data and are happy to recommend our product. Patients can then purchase the reimbursable device from pharmacies and eye care retailers. A retailer has promised us a pilot, and a leading insurance group confirmed that Ocumate can be reimbursed once we prove the health economics. In 2019, the global therapeutics market size for glaucoma was $6.6 billion, projecting to reach $11 billion by 2027. Being Class 1 with an identified predicate, Ocumate is exempted from 510K pre-market submission and GMP requirements. With a functional proof of concept available, we have freedom to operate. We'll spend next year on product development and clinical testing, obtain FDA approval in 2023, and launch in 2024. Then we're expanding to Australia, Europe, and Asia. Our team has expertise in clinical science, business, and engineering. We're backed by specialists in each field. At Vysum, we design great solutions to address real problems experienced by glaucoma patients daily. 56 patients want to test out our device already. We've also received the seed fund in recognition of our potential. Today, we're asking for help to kickstart our product development and go-to-market strategy. We are Vysum. We innovate to prevent blindness due to glaucoma. Thank you.
Well done, ladies and gentlemen. What a fantastic idea. What a brilliant pitch. We've got plenty more where that came from. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'd now like to invite Richard Sokolov from IDE to introduce the next team. Richard, welcome.
Thank you, Michelle. It was a great pleasure to mentor one of the cohort this year, and I have the great pleasure to introduce Think Project. They're developing a novel acoustic nebulizer for rapid lung delivery of life-saving biomolecules for treating respiratory diseases in children. So please welcome Dr. Nourri Rajapaska.
There was a little girl who grew up in a small remote town in a remote area. She hated needles. She needed to be pinned down just to get life-saving, protective medication into her. Fast track 30 years, she's standing in front of you. In the 3 minutes that I'm up here, 5 children who could have benefited from a solution needed that creative solution that I'm here to present to you about. A major contributor to this problem, the RSV or the respiratory syncytial virus, is an emerging problem. It's actually the leading cause of pneumonia in children under the age of 1. In Australia, it's an expensive disease with no vaccine available and treatment options very expensive and not accessible. One solution is to deliver vaccines and other protection directly to the lungs as a simple approach that could potentially just shut the door at the portal of virus entry. Our solution involves an acoustic nebulizer that basically is based on electromechanical engineering. Simple. At least to me. It basically uses high-frequency sound waves to interact with the biomolecules to break up the surface tension in a very gentle manner, which allows us the efficiency to target the deep lung. Think Project's solution is unique. It's cost-effective and it's affordable and it's effective at addressing this issue. Our solution is first in class. It reaches the deep lung with aerosol-sized tunability, and it's suitable for a wide range of biomolecules. The RSV market is largely underserved for the 215,000 children hospitalised each year with a treatment option that is not practical. Our solution will effectively provide a cost-effective method that would move a field that has been stuck for the last 3 decades. I have led an extensive series of trials. I'm standing in front of you with a solution that has been stress-tested, particularly in a preclinical animal model that is unique, but what you're looking at is developing a drug in real time into the deep lung. We're in discussions with a major pharma company, and I can't tell you who it is because it's confidential. And we are now ready to test our solution in a clinical setting. With your help, with your support, we would like to use the prize money towards developing a scalable prototype that will take us through the execution through our roadmap. Collectively, with about 40 years of experience in clinical experience and engineering, we are supported by a diverse and unique brains trust across Australia and the United States. We are Think Project. We need partners. If you're ready to inhale your way for rapid protection, please come and chat to us. Thank you so much.
Well done, Anushi. That's a fantastic presentation. Very well done. Next up, I'd like to introduce you to Rob Wybenga from Design and Industry to the stage to introduce our next team. Rob.
It's been a pleasure to mentor the team at Spira Health. They've got a very worthwhile endeavour here. Their product, Aeolus, trains the muscles in the throat to improve outcomes for sufferers of obstructive sleep apnea. And I think we all think that's a very good cause. So I welcome Joe to the stage.
Fantastic. We are Spira, and our mission is to help people breathe better during sleep. Our friend Kathy, a 45-year-old university lecturer, has a sleep-related breathing disorder called sleep apnea, and she's always feeling tired throughout the day. Kathy is not alone. 1 in 5 people have sleep apnea, and many are at a preclinical stage. Currently, sleep apnea is treated with a one-size-fits-all approach that's designed more for late-stage sufferers. Increasingly, though, clinicians and patients are seeking more personalised treatment for early-stage sleep apnea. Kathy is just one of many sleep apnea sufferers looking for treatment alternatives. Our solution, Aeolus, is designed to train throat muscles using evidence-based breathing exercises. These exercises have been clinically proven to reduce airway collapse during sleep and improve sleep apnea symptoms. Our device has been designed to address the 3 important user needs identified in our customer market validation research, 2 of which are not addressed by a major market competitor. Empowerment. Aeolus gives the users a sense of control over their sleep health. Usability. Our device is designed to be used in different settings and overcomes issues with treatment compliance. Effectiveness. Aeolus is designed to be effective at treating obstructive sleep apnea. Now with Aeolus, Kathy can train as she walks to work, knowing she'll get a good night's sleep and wake up feeling refreshed. Our go-to-market strategy is direct to consumer, so our initial target market are those with early to moderate stage sleep apnea, actively seeking self-management solutions. Targeting this beachhead market minimizes our customer acquisition costs, but more importantly, the cornerstone to our go-to-market strategy is through clinical champions and clinical guidelines. And what was surprising to us through our stakeholder interviews is that pharmacists were identified as a key marketing and sales opportunity. We do aim to expand our product offering to other indications such as prehab and rehab, and our revenue comes from device sales as well as a two-tiered subscription model. Aeolus is a low-risk Class 1M device for TGA and CE markings, and we've identified potential predicate devices for filing under 510K in the US. We have a robust development plan comprising 4 phases. So phase 0 is develop user needs. Phase 1 is iterative prototyping and validation to refine design requirements. That's where we're currently standing. 2, preclinical testing through research institution partnerships. And finally, clinical trial validation. And we've mapped out a funding strategy based on specific milestones and value inflections. We have a very passionate and motivated team with diverse expertise from clinical, laboratory, health data science, and product development. And we're supported by a stellar advisory board with experience from business research and clinical expertise, all within that problem space of sleep apnea. If you're ready to make a change in sleep apnea, we welcome you to join us on our journey. Aeolus. It's simple, enjoyable to use, and backed by science.
Well done, Origin team. So ladies and gentlemen, these are first-time entrepreneurs. Many of them hadn't meaningfully pitched before they came to us at the beginning of their short acceleration program with us. So it's a fantastic traction that they've achieved and really wonderful things that they've been doing, isn't it, Michelle? And I think one of the things that, Michelle, we were keen to talk a little bit about, and as you know well at the MedTech Actuator, we spend a lot of time thinking about how can we make the innovation space and how can we make our space more inclusive? How can we make it more diverse? How can we make it more equal? One of the things I was really pleased about is that in our top 2, we had 2 fantastic young female founders pitching. It was brilliant. But it's hard work in a sense, isn't it? There are lots of barriers, there are confusing things about the system. What do you think we as an ecosystem could be doing to make our system more inclusive and promote female entrepreneurs in a more targeted way?
I think this is a really important question, and we definitely have answers for this. So I congratulate the Actuator, actually, because really championing female entrepreneurship is something that's very much at the heart of what we believe. Belinda and I, who sit on the board of the Actuator, do little happy dances every time we see a 50-50 cohort, or as close to 50-50 as possible. There's a lot we can do, and it's role modelling. So it's having these opportunities and encouraging particularly first-time entrepreneurs to step into the space. And not every first attempt will land, and that's okay, and we very much encourage that. So it is really important that we have some programs that are very much designed for women, and right now in Australia, there's actually quite a few really great programs for women that encourage this stepping into entrepreneurship. But there's nothing more important than us here today, the women in the room, who have walked a path through entrepreneurship, but also the fantastic allies that we have in the room, the wonderful men that are around us, like you, who support me, and I couldn't tell you how important it is to have the support of Buzz and Vishal as I step into entrepreneurship with Opal. So couldn't tell you how much I appreciate your friendship and support, and for all of the women that we see here in the room today, and those women that will come after you. So I know that there's a few in the room that have ideas about entrepreneurship, and that's what we want to see.
Fantastic. Well, ladies and gentlemen, be an ally or be a role model, but whatever you do, let's make our system more inclusive, and let's make 2022 an even better year for a more diverse and equal environment for our entrepreneurs. Ladies and gentlemen, some time to have some food now. So please, the food is all coming. Hopefully it'll come to you quickly. Enjoy it. We'll take a little bit of a break in proceedings and we'll come back with some more pitches momentarily. Please enjoy. MedTech innovation or a deep health tech innovation or a biotech innovation to the market is not an easy thing to do. It's incredibly complicated. There is a maze of considerations that you have to work through. For example, regulation is complicated. Reimbursements can make or break your startup. IP strategy, clinical trial strategy, it's very, very complicated. It's a very convoluted space. So what you need is a partner that understands that. What you need are relationships to help you to navigate that space. The Accelerator allows you to achieve in 15 months what would typically take about 3 years. We provide up to $200,000 in seed capital and a structured pathway to Series A funding, industry-led, tailored, expert mentoring, and an unrivaled network from across Asia Pacific with more than 85 corporate, clinical, and manufacturing partners, spanning the entire commercialization pipeline. From hospitals to world-leading research institutes, from global medtech corporates to catalytic product development firms, from government funds and agencies to some of our region's most active and dynamic venture capital firms. The Accelerator, Asia Pacific's MedTech Accelerator. This changes everything. One of the things that I really admire about this cohort of startups is that they have really done hybrid very, very well. So they've learnt in person for some of the time. They've gotten together in their own groups every now and then. When we got together in the last sprint together, it was almost tear-jerking to be in the same room as them. And it's tear-jerking partly because they're lovely people and you should all get to spend time with them, but also because actually, the progress that they have made under trying circumstances has really been really remarkable. So it's brilliant now to unveil them in a sense to you all, and for you all to have the opportunity to know them a little bit the way that we know them. So what we're going to do is we're going to hear from 11 startups, and there'll be a small break in between. And then after that period, our judges will cogitate, and Buzz will probably try to bully them, and then they will achieve some kind of an outcome that is useful. And so now, with a full complement of judges, I'd love to welcome our startups on stage. So we're going to start with Hatisens, which is pitched by Sue. Hatisens develops a handheld point-of-care device that can accurately diagnose heart attack. Welcome Sue to the stage, ladies and gentlemen.
Hi.
Hi.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Sue. Just let me test this. All right, my name is Sue, and I'm the CEO and co-founder of Hatisens. We are developing a point-of-care device that will revolutionize heart attack diagnosis through rapid testing. So heart attack is the #1 killer worldwide. In Australia, it is estimated that there's one heart attack every 10 minutes. So during a heart attack, the damaged heart muscle releases a protein known as troponin, and therefore troponin is the gold standard biomarker used to diagnose heart attack. So the current standard of testing requires clinicians to draw the blood intravenously, which is then sent to the lab for testing. So the result may return within the hour or two, but this remains an issue for hospitals and GPs in the rural and regional areas where the resources are limited and the turnaround time is very long. Our solution is to create a portable point-of-care device that can be easily used by the clinicians to make a faster clinical decision at a fraction of the time compared to a contemporary assay without compromising the quality of the result. Our integrated photonic technology is highly sensitive and multiplexable, making it more accurate and attractive for clinicians to use. So we've completed our preliminary studies and are now finalizing a working prototype that will be able to measure troponin above the 99th percentile value. So what this means is that we'll be able to detect troponin much earlier and will also not overlook any small changes of troponin in the blood, which often contributes to the false negative as seen with the current point of care. So this will allow us to diagnose heart attack more consistently and minimizes misdiagnosis. So our key target markets are the GPs, especially those practicing in the rural and regional areas. in the future will expand to the emergency services. So our go-to-market strategy is through the business-to-business model. We'll partner with medical distributors locally to sell to the GPs. In Australia, the market is estimated to be worth about $130 million. We at Hatisens estimated that we're able to capture about $6 million of this market. So this year, we are working on the technology development stage. We are finalizing the market research and establishing our MVP. Next year, we're looking to file our IP and also engineer the prototypes to be ready to be tested in preclinical trials. After that, we'll commence the clinical trials and refine this prototype to be ready to manufacture. This is also when we'll start the filing process for the regulatory in Australia. So we are opening our capital raising fund next year in second quarter of 2022. And we'll also apply to non-diluting grants to be able to complete these milestones. So at Hatisens, our group consists of not just researchers, but also clinicians that came together because we have the knowledge and the skill set to bring this technology to life. Once again, thank you for listening. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out. Thank you.
Congratulations, Sue. That was fantastic. What a great pitch. Next, we've got Quitta, which is being pitched by Tim. Quitta develops new gold standard in smoking cessation. Let's welcome Tim to the stage.
Tim.
Hi, I'm Tim from Quitta, where we're making quitting smoking easier with new next-generation nicotine replacement therapy. Every year, 8 million people die from smoking. Everyone knows the risks, so why would anyone continue to do it? Well, the fact is that 2 in 3 smokers don't want to smoke. It's just really hard to stop. Nicotine replacement therapies, or NRTs, are a first-line treatment for tobacco dependence, but they're just not that effective. For every 100 attempts using NRT, more than 90 end in a relapse to tobacco. Let's look at why. This chart shows nicotine concentration in the blood over time. If you're a smoker, you're used to getting an immediate spike in nicotine from a cigarette. But if you walk into your local pharmacy and you buy NRT, the best you'll find gives you half the dose at a third of the speed. For addicted smokers, this is a big step down, and it takes a huge amount of willpower to overcome the cravings. Remember, 9 in 10 will return to cigarettes. But what if we could reduce that willpower required to quit and to stay quit? Well, this is the purpose of Quitta. Quitta's developing a meter-dose inhaler to deliver safe, measured nicotine quickly via the lungs. It relieves cravings immediately and effectively. There's no heating or burning to produce toxic byproducts, and it's a medical solution for smokers serious about quitting. The University of Otago in New Zealand found that the inhaler plus a patch doubled the quit rate at 6 months against a patch alone. Now, nicotine replacement therapy is a $3.5 billion market, which in itself is significant, but that represents just 0.5% of tobacco sales. So as more effective products come into the category, there's plenty of room for growth. To validate demand, we sold a prototype inhaler in the US under e-cigarette laws. We sold $400,000 of inhalers to 5,300 customers, which signaled to us that there's huge latent demand for better NRT. Because nicotine's a well-known molecule, our timelines look shorter than a typical drug development. We plan to submit our first drug applications to MedSafe in New Zealand late next year, followed by Australia and the UK in 2023. And we've put together the right team to make it happen. Our researchers have published over 170 papers on aerosol science. Our quality and regulatory team have over 50 years combined experience in pharma development. And we're supported by a strong board and advisory team, including a former New Zealand health minister. We're currently raising a round of $825,000 towards this MedSafe submission, which is supplemented by $375,000 in grant funding. So if you'd like to know more, please do come find me after. Thank you.
Well done, Tim. Fantastic pitch. Congratulations. So ladies and gentlemen, I told you there'd be some weird hybridity, didn't I? So we're going to hear now a pitch from one of our Singaporean startups. It's called Moon Technologies, and the pitching is being done by Jian Ming. It's a fantastic technology that Moon Tech develops augmented reality smart glasses to deliver real-time, life-saving, actionable insights for paramedics on the front line. So if I can just direct you towards the screen over there, we'll be able to enjoy a video pitch from Jian Ming.
Hello everyone, my name is JM and I'm the co-founder of Moon Technologies. Today, I'll be speaking about combining the power of augmented reality to emergency medical services to deliver a quantum leap improvement to this very important medical infrastructure. At the very core fundamental of what we do, we create a pair of AR smart glasses to deliver real-time, actionable insight to the paramedics. Even though paramedics are our real-life heroes, their jobs are insanely difficult, especially in this emergency nature of their jobs. Over 30% of the paramedics' preliminary diagnoses are inaccurate. This inaccuracy leads to inadequate treatments of the patient, adverse effects such as deaths, and also higher hospital costs due to errors in triaging the patient. This is often the result of the lack of knowledge of the patient and increasing complexities of the various conditions in the world. This can be solved by an AR device. We believe we have found the right recipe to provide the best solution for the paramedics. Our AR device has inbuilt sensors to allow spatial inputs to be retrieved and real-time, and this allows real-time contextualized information to be given to the paramedics to make better clinical decisions. There are 3 breakthroughs when it comes to our product. The first one is that the augmented reality is right in front of the paramedic's eyes. Our glasses is light and small in form factor. We have created a patented eye tracking technology that allows the paramedics to use the glasses hands-free, so they can actually focus on life-saving the patient with their hands. Our second breakthrough is on providing contextual information. With our glasses, we'll be able to identify the patient and retrieve medical data from a secured database and display this information to the paramedics. We can also connect to a doctor remotely and perform an augmented reality telehealth by using the glasses. Information will be transferred to the nearest hospital so that the hospital staff will be able to prepare equipment before the patient will arrive. Our third breakthrough is on speed. With our glasses, especially in this critical moment, information will be processed and displayed onto the paramedic's eyes. This allows treatments to be done way faster. But we are not just a hardware company. We are creating a software platform on top of glasses, and applications can be built for a myriad of purposes in this industry. Our market represents our total addressable market represents a $3.8 million that comes from 7.7 million paramedics in the world. And for the next 1 to 2 years, we'll be able to sell our product to 88,000 paramedics, which adds up to $43.9 million. Our business model is simple. We sell the hardware to the paramedics and hospitals, and also we have a platform to allow developers to build new functionalities on top of our device. Right now, we are working with the Singapore Civil Defence Forces and also Japan EMS agencies through Panasonic. Our team is made of 8 engineers and 2 professors from NUS. We have 4 patents, and we are currently funded by Elevate, MedTech Actuator, NUS, and Panasonic. Right now, we are running a paid pilot with the Singapore government. We start off with a 200,000 POC, which will, upon finishing this POC, leads to 11,000 pieces purchased by the government. Thank you so much for your time.
Fantastic. Thank you, Junming. Next up is Yabi, pitched by Leslie, an automated method for monitoring and escalating surgical drain output. And that's Yabi Medical. Take it away, Leslie.
So I'm Leslie from Yabi Medical. Surgery is stressful. For the patient, the recovery process is riddled with uncertainty and unknowns. And a myriad of little things can add to the complexity and the stress of recovery. The current outdated practice of monitoring surgical drain output, which is often required after an operation, is one of these factors. There is a need to automate this to expedite patients' recovery and hospital discharge. Currently, the surgical drain output monitoring process is manually intensive, error-prone, and involves multiple staff. Research has shown attempts to solve this problem via improved observation scheduling is unsustainable. Surgeons have said that 75% of surgical drain readings are unreliable and that they keep the patients in hospital an extra day or two to compensate. This obviously increases hospital costs and patient complications. Our device, the Yabi, solves this. It is an automated continuous surgical drain output monitor. The Yabi measures a large range of intermittent flow rates and connects to existing drainage sets. Its visual screen, sorry, my screen went blank. Its visual screen allows doctors to view the drain output in real time, and customizable parameters are adjustable, which will notify the medical team when the alarm sounds. The Yabi aims to deliver safer, earlier patient discharge, improve clinical workflow, and reduce healthcare costs. Surgeons estimated that this would enable them to send patients home a day earlier, and this would mean a $2,000 value gain per patient, which accumulates to $1 million per hospital per year of cost efficiencies. As you can see, our value proposition works on multiple levels of the system to provide a more powerful model. Currently, there are other existing flow meters on the market, but none of them match the Yabi. The Yabi is differentiated by the ability to measure low-level intermittent flow rates with an easily readable, disposable, and suitable for medical mobile patients. Globally, the surgical drainage market is expected to reach $3.1 billion by 2030. Our pilot market is Australia, where we'll be launching our clinical trials, and our beachhead market is in the US, where almost 30 million surgeries are performed annually, with an estimated SAM of 1.5 billion patients. The Yabi is designed to be a disposable, single-use product in line with other surgical consumables, surgeon preference, and current workflow processes. We've priced it at $50 to $150, capturing 4 to 8% of the value gained by the hospitals, and is in line with other surgical drainage consumables. To date, we've used our available capital to develop 2 feasibility prototypes, filed our provisional patent, and developed an in-depth regulatory and IP strategy. Next year, as part of our capital raising and de-risking strategy, we plan to raise money in seed funding in Q2 of 2022, and we'll have a product ready for launch by the end of next year. So, who are we? We're an award-winning team with 25 years of combined experience, and we are passionate about improving surgical drain output monitoring. We're committed to bring the Yabi to market, and if you have any questions and would like to invest, please don't hesitate to contact us. Thank you.
Thank you. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'd now like to, in our final pitch in this block, I'd like to introduce Spokle to you. And Spokle will be pitched by Elizabeth. Spokle empowers patients to be involved in their children's speech therapy at home. Elizabeth, over to you. Where are you? There you are.
Good evening. I'm Elizabeth from Spokle. We help children obtain greater access to speech therapy and improve their communication outcomes. Globally, 1 in 14 children suffer with speech, language, and communication challenges. Speech therapy is an evidence-based intervention that could benefit these children. However, in developing countries like Indonesia, there are barriers preventing many children from accessing this intervention. The limited availability of professionals means families need to wait up to 12 months to get an appointment. They need to travel long distances to the centres, and the cost of treatment, mostly paid out of pocket, adds a significant financial burden. Spokle uses a readily available digital technology to empower parents with the knowledge and understanding to help their child develop communication. It's accessible anytime, affordable, and convenient. Spokle's programs were developed by experienced therapists, delivered as video tutorials to teach parents how to implement therapy activities at home. Parents can track the progress and share it with their therapists for monitoring, and the contents are localized for the market. In terms of the opportunity, in Indonesia alone, over 300,000 children are diagnosed with communication impairments each year. Our target is to reach 5,000 children each year, or $1 million in value annually. Our core business model is a content-based subscription for $200 a year, supported by educational workshops. And after extensive market testing and development, we're now in a pilot stage, which is running in Indonesia with corporate customers like Cochlear and Kasum Hearing Center. This pilot provides us with user validation and an understanding of the customer journey, which sets a good foundation for our launch phase next year. Our goal is to launch in Indonesia as a beachhead market with a target to achieve $100,000 in revenue. Our plan is to first get our product launch ready through additional features and contents. We will focus on the user experience to improve the conversion along this funnel. And once we achieve efficiencies in the conversion, we can grow volume through advertising. So to get to the next step, our target is to raise $200,000, which will go towards product development, marketing, and IP. And within 6 months, we will be ready to launch. This is our team. We work together at Cochlear and have years of clinical and marketing experience in Southeast Asia. Now we're using our combined expertise to build Spokle. So partner with us and join us in this mission to help kids get access to the intervention they need. I'm Elizabeth from Spokle. Thank you for listening.
Ladies and gentlemen, Michelle, friends, Minister, could you imagine if our health system had these products deployed in them? Think of the money we'd be saving, think of the lives we'd be saving, for everything from heart attack to speech therapy, from first responders to quitting smoking. What a wonderful world we'd be living in if these were the kinds of technologies that we were using. So to mull upon that and to eat main course, let's take a little break, continue to speak amongst yourselves, enjoy each other's company, and we'll be back shortly with the next batch of startups.
All right, well, welcome back, everyone. We're ready for the second group of the Accelerator startups to pitch. And the first one up is Jonathan from Osteo-X.
So Osteo-X develops an internally self-locking, intramedullary nail for orthopedics that reduces surgical time and radiation exposure. Buzz Palmer is crying because I missed an osteopedic term. Sorry, Buzz, sorry. Let's roll. Let's hear it, Jonathan.
All right, thank you.
Welcome.
Very good morning. Good morning. Good start. I practice it in the morning most of the time. So. All right, very good evening. I'm Jonathan, co-founder and CEO of Osteo-X. Over the last year, we have created this very exciting orthopedics medical device, the honeycomb intramedullary nail, a device which we believe would revolutionize the treatment of fractures. So for the non-orthopedic surgeons in the room, the problem is very much like threading a needle. But now, imagine you can't see the thread and you can't see the needle. And this is exactly the problem that orthopedic surgeons are facing, where they are unable to put in the screws at the end of the locking nail. This makes surgery very inefficient, involves a high amount of radiation, and it gives patients additional discomfort. So we at Osteo-X created this honeycomb intramedullary nail. It is a fusion of two very well-known techniques in the industry, which allows us to lock the fracture in place without requiring interlocking screws. So we started out back in 2019, where we've been through numerous challenges, accelerators, and incubators. We now have our provisional patent, and it's very excited to enter our clinical trial phase, which is 2 years for a Class 2B medical device. We intend to target markets that accept CE and later translate that to TGA for sales in Australia. The overall market size for intramedullary nails is around $1.6 billion per year. Osteo-X is confident of capturing $75 million per year by the year 2030. And even then, we may be underestimating the market, as the application of our nail goes far broader than the upper and lower limb fractures that's treated with conventional intramedullary nails today. So we at Osteo-X are a team of diverse medical, surgical, technical, research expertise. And we are backed by this very strong team of advisory panel, which makes us a powerhouse in our industry. So we at Osteo-X will deliver a novel orthopedic device that would revolutionize the treatment of fractures by saving surgical time and cost, reducing radiation, and improving patient outcomes. So if you are an organization or an investor who shares our vision, please feel free to come catch me after our dinner. And once again, we are Osteo-X, revolutionizing fracture treatment. Thank you.
Nicely done. And enjoy your breakfast. So, friends, we're now going to hear from Gild, which will be pitched by Georgia. Gild is the first gap-only payment platform to improve access to healthcare. Georgia, welcome to the stage. We're excited to hear what you have to tell us.
Good evening. My name's Georgia, and I'm the co-founder of Gild. We are the first gap-only payment platform with a focus on improving access to healthcare. The pandemic has brought the value of healthcare to the forefront of all of our minds, and yet accessing care, it's getting more difficult. This is Hayley, a musician in Melbourne, who's recently stopped seeing her psychologist because she could no longer afford it. Her partner, he also wants to see a psychologist when he can afford it, but he's been saying it for over a year. So, how long will they have to wait? And why should they have to? As a GP, I have a front row seat to this struggle as I watch my patients delay seeking care, or even worse, not attending at all. Many people here tonight might be fortunate enough not to notice the Medicare rebate moving in and out of their account, but if we're entitled to that rebate, why do we have to part with it in the first place? So, how do we work? Gild acts as the intermediary between the patient, Medicare, and the practitioner. After their appointment, the patient pays Gild, only the gap amount, and we process that amount directly to the practitioner. Gild bills Medicare on behalf of the patient and processes that amount to the practitioner. So, for example, seeing a psychiatrist can cost over $600, and while the Medicare rebate of $300 goes some way towards alleviating that financial burden, the cost deters a lot of people. With Gild, the patient only needs to part with the gap amount of $300, which immediately makes this a lot more accessible. Gild is the first platform to let patients access any form of healthcare, a GP, a specialist, allied health, by paying only the gap amount. Regarding the market size, in the 2021 financial year, total Medicare billings comprised over $28 billion. Our business model is that we charge a small percentage fee per transaction. Processing 10% of total Medicare claims in the next 3 to 5 years will generate revenue in excess of $70 million. Our aim is to diversify into any service eligible for a public or private rebate, both within Australia and overseas. Market research with our medical colleagues and patients has confirmed both parties are extremely interested in utilising the gap-only method. Moving forward, we're looking to speak with investors as we seek to raise in Q1 of 2022. We are a team truly motivated by the enormous potential that exists to improve access to healthcare. Myself and Charles Aitken are both medical doctors with almost 20 years of combined experience working in healthcare. If you share our enthusiasm for improving access to healthcare, please do get in contact because we would love to speak with you. Thank you very much.
Wonderful. Thanks so much, Georgia. Next up is Nourri, which will be pitched by Sally. Nourri is a healthcare platform delivering timely, tailored support for today's modern families. Welcome, Sally.
Hi everyone, I'm Sally, founder of Nourri, a digital health platform giving parents the same degree of care they give to their children. Because when I became a mum, I discovered something no one really warned me about. Having a child is all-consuming, and in the midst of the juggle, it's easy to lose yourself. And I'm not alone. 62% of parents say their most challenging issue is looking after their own well-being. And it's a lonely, self-perpetuating problem, with isolation one of the key contributing factors to what is an epidemic of poor mental health amongst parents. There are, of course, very real flow-on effects, where the well-being of the family, workplaces, and our communities are impacted. Subsequently, so is our economy. With 250 babies born in the world every minute and a total addressable market of over 7.3 billion, not only do we have a significant opportunity to make a difference, but an obligation, with millions of today's families struggling behind closed doors. That's why we made it our mission to bring to life a first-of-its-kind platform that makes healthcare easy and accessible to families. Nourri provides timely, tailored support by bringing together trusted content and consults from a network of highly vetted health and wellbeing practitioners, while also connecting its community with other parents walking the same path. Nourri simplifies healthcare by providing a one-stop shop for parents to turn to any time the day or the night is getting the better of them. It's holistic, combining a unique blend of preventative practice and in-the-moment problem solving, and it's smart, leveraging data-driven insights to personalise each parent's experience, always serving the right support at the right time. Unlike your generic virtual care or mental health platforms, Nourri speaks to the unique needs of parents at crucial life stages. Not only are we well poised to position ourselves as the go-to healthcare platform for families here in Australia, but also globally. We've designed a freemium subscription model where parents will be able to purchase a range of programs individually, along with the telehealth consults. And we've identified workplaces as a viable payer avenue, and we'll be pursuing a B2B pathway to scale our impact. We've built a strong foundation for success, producing hundreds of videos and evidence-based tools curated in consultation with our early adopters who paid for our award-winning platform. We're now advancing our product development to meet our next milestone of pivoting to Nourri and launching our B2C offering in the new year. Our team slide is missing, but not only does our team have extensive experience in commercialising and building leading digital platforms, we're backed by a growing network of practitioners who've joined us on our mission to build a brighter future for us all. So if you're a workplace or an investor who shares our vision, we invite you to join us as we prepare to welcome pilot partnerships and raise our seed round soon. Thank you.
Thanks, Sally. Did you see that dynamism? Did you see that fleetness of foot? No slide, no problem. So well done, Sally. Now I'm really delighted now for another one of our weird hybrid moments. So we're going to hear from our friend Lincoln, who is pitching from Accelerate Technologies in Singapore. Accelerate is a remote rehabilitation solution connecting patients, practitioners, and healthcare providers through an integrated, sophisticated digital system. So if I can encourage you again to direct your attention to the screen, we'll hear from Lincoln.
Good afternoon. My name is Lincoln Dacey from Accelerate Technologies. Today, I would like to introduce you to our product REDI, which is transforming physical rehabilitation in Singapore. Osteoarthritis is a chronic disease affecting the knees, hands, hips and spine, resulting in pain, disability and limited mobility. With the ageing population, musculoskeletal conditions are rapidly increasing. So we developed a product we call REDI, a therapist web portal, patient application and wearable sensor. REDI is classified as a Class A medical device in Singapore, and we have approval to work with all the Singaporean restructured hospitals. With more than 200 senior citizens tested on our platform, you can see here our patients had a total knee reconstruction, and in real time, the avatar guides him safely through the exercise program with audio and visual alerts. We can increase compliance rates to up to 70% with REDI. The patient can self-report pain and difficulty levels into the therapist's web portal. The system monitors accuracy to the exercise program, range of motion and progress trends, duration of the exercise program, and most importantly, compliance. We have developed this system with orthopedic surgeons and physiotherapists to get the right information at the right time. Our new rehabilitation journey reduces up to 20 face-to-face visits to the hospital post-operatively, creating savings of around $2,600 per patient. We do this by optimizing the clinical workflows, where we reduce the number of patients visiting the hospitals, which reduces hospital waiting times and creates higher therapy efficiencies. We empower patients to take control of their rehabilitation by creating access at times of limited mobility to a cost-effective rehabilitation application, which creates higher motivation and compliance. We are uniquely positioned as we bridge the virtual and physical worlds of rehabilitation. Our business model is simple. It's sales through partnerships and direct sales to hospitals with huge margins on our products. The market size in Singapore is 8,000 total knee replacements, 150,000 cases of frozen shoulder, 470 cases of osteoarthritis, and 66,000 cancer patients. The market in Australia is simply 5 times the size. We are now embarking on a cross-cluster clinical trial in Singapore, where we've aligned every hospital in Singapore to work on common rehabilitation protocols and frameworks with the hospitals. We're doing this to gain subvention by the Ministry of Health in Singapore. Our team was founded by the 3 co-founders that met at Singapore Management University and have a background in strategy, sales and financial management. Since inception, we've added a full-stack technical team, operations manager and medical team. Thank you.
Wonderful. Thanks very much, Lincoln. Next up, we've got Virtetic, which is pitched by Ricardo. Virtetic is developing game-based virtual reality therapies for people living with limb loss. Ricardo, it's over to you.
Hi, I'm Ricardo, CEO of Virtetic, where we are empowering the prosthetics community through virtual reality. The 1 million people who lose a limb every year need to wait over 4 months post-amputation for the stump to heal and get access to a prosthesis. These delays cause high incidence of prosthesis abandonment and phantom limb pain, costing healthcare systems billions every year. So, what if people could start recovering their function and reducing the risk of phantom limb pain as soon as they recover from surgery? With Virtetic, it is now possible. We are developing game-based virtual reality therapies for the early rehabilitation and prosthesis use training of people living with limb loss. We are starting with 2 VR therapy products. The first one aimed at helping people who have lost an arm learn how to use a prosthesis through guided practice. The second one aimed at helping people suffering from phantom limb pain ease and manage their pain through active visualizations of the missing limb. People living with limb loss are our customers, and they pay a one-off fee for our VR therapies through their disability insurance. We partner with clinics to deliver our VR therapies to their patients and with prosthesis manufacturers to incorporate their products into our platform. Our target markets are Australia, Europe, and the US, which account for 115,000 people every year. Our strategy to capture these markets will be through a strategic joint venture for an obtainable market of $50 million. Virtetic addresses the key pain points clinicians and prosthesis users have with existing solutions. Our VR therapies involve using virtual prosthesis just like a real one, instead of just seeing one on a bench. Our VR therapies involve activities of daily living that are meaningful to daily living instead of just seeing one on a plot. And we're making rehabilitation and prosthesis use training accessible at home through VR. So far, we have partnered with 2 major clinics in Melbourne. We have built relationships with key community and professional groups in Australia, and we're finalizing an agreement to collaborate with market leader in prosthetics, Ottobock. Our goal is to bring our products to market by Q3 2023 in Australia. We're a diverse team with years of experience in VR and prosthetics, but most importantly, we're passionate about making positive impact in the lives of people living with limb loss. Next year, we will be raising our angel round, so please reach out if you're interested in joining our journey to empower the prosthetics community through virtual reality. Thank you.
Thank you, Ricardo. Now, ladies and gentlemen, all of our entrepreneurs look so fantastic tonight, dressed to the nines as they are. The Virtetic boys are, in fact, the most interesting. I've never seen them wear anything other than hoodies, and they sit there coding. These guys have got mad stacks of Bitcoin, I'm sure of it. You know, they're going to the moon, but you look amazing. You look great. You can do this kind of pitch too. Fantastic. Congratulations. So now we have our last pitch, friends, for the evening. We're going to hear from Nick at GenEmbryomics. GenEmbryomics is an innovative test for all genetic disorders in IVF embryos. Again, due to restrictions, unfortunately, Nick can't be with us, but again, a video pitch is coming, so again, please have a look at the screen and let's hear from Nick.
What if you could prevent every single genetic disease in your child? At GenEmbryomics, we're doing just that. Working across the genetics industry for 17 years, we spotted a gap in genetic testing and published a peer-reviewed paper trialing whole genome sequencing in IVF. The implications were that we had a straightforward test to screen IVF embryos for all genetic diseases. This is Jess and David. The couple had a difficult IVF journey, and so to improve their chances for a healthy baby, they opted to have basic embryo screening. When they finally had a successful transfer and live birth, they were ecstatic, only to discover the baby had been born with ADNP, causing a condition that results in permanent intellectual and developmental disability. Their whole world came crashing down. GenEmbryomics would have detected the mutation and informed them prior to the embryo ever being transferred to Jess's womb. Our patent-pending technology, Genome Screen, detects all 4,525 known genetic disorders, while also testing for any potential new disorders that could arise in the embryo. This panacea is achieved by us being the first company to ever use genome sequencing of IVF embryos. We are now partnered with the Dr. Santiago Muna's Homu Health Ventures, having access to clinical trials and a product distribution network of several of the largest leading fertility clinics in the US. We seek to offer Genome Screen by directly charging the clinics for both pre-implantation and preconception screening tests for around $1,000, initially through clinical sequencing providers until our in-house testing lab is complete. Through the newly legislated Medicare rebates in Australia that now allows parents to claim for genetic screening of embryos, an addition that will only reduce the barrier to entry in the IVF genetic testing market. That's why there are numerous competitors who are also providing a service in this space. However, they are limited to a maximum of 2 genetic disorders, whereas we can detect over 4,500 for a similar price point and time frame. This is particularly exciting as the IVF market globally is currently at $14 billion annually and set to grow to $34 billion in the next 6 years. Our go-to market strategy is as following commenced R&D and then clinical trials for the next 6 months. We'll be aiming for a phase 1 rollout by mid-22 in the US and mid-23 in the EU and Australia. We have a phenomenal team to launch this product, having experience in commercial genetics, medical startups, and bioinformatics portal developers. And we would love your help. So whether you can connect us to IVF clinics or an investor, we'd love to hear from you.
People at the MedTech Actuator, they're really brilliant. They put on this event under trying circumstances in a remarkably stress-free way. And they've also given me fantastic speaking notes. One of the things I love about the speaking notes is how they think I speak. So, a lot of exclamation marks and a lot of wonderful, splendid, great pitch. It's like I speak like some kind of coked up royal or something. So,
and you don't?
I don't know. Yeah.
Really?
But you'll hear more from our fantastic team shortly. But they've done a wonderful job.
They have done a wonderful job. Now, on the screen over here, you can see a QR code. So this is the bit where you don't get a free dinner. You're expected to vote. So we want to know what you think is the winning pitch. And so the winner of the People's Choice Award will take home $1,000 from our sponsors. And so that's you. You're the People's Choice. You're choosing. You're the people.
You're the people.
You're choosing. You're the people. And that's donated by the federal government. We've also got the J&J Prize and the Actuator Prize, which will be decided by the judges. We'll come back in a little while to announce the winners. So we're going to take a bit of a break to network and let the judges argue amongst themselves. And in previous years, it's got a bit heated, hasn't it?
It's been heated.
Buzz had to break up a few in previous years. And we had to step back.
Harkening back to his bouncer days.
Yes, exactly. I know. That was another startup story. That's another one. So please make sure you don't leave tonight without some business cards in your pocket. Make sure you reconnect with all of those wonderful people that you used to know back when we networked face to face. And please make sure you get that QR code and tweet. We'll see you in a minute.
Yes, dessert is coming. So in a few moments, you'll enjoy sweetness as well as excitement.
All right, let's get going now. So the winners and the award announcement, the People's Choice Award is first, and we welcome Dr. Ashley Bates, the Director of Medical Technologies and Pharmaceuticals at Oz Industry, to the stage to announce the winner of the People's Choice Award.
The winner of the People's Choice Award is... Do I delay? And the winner of the People's Choice Award is Think Project.
Come. Congratulations. For the Actuator Prize, let's welcome Maria and Mackenzie, both from the MedTech Actuator. So Maria is our head of programs, and Mackenzie is in charge of our Origin program. They are, ladies and gentlemen, if you've had a good time tonight, it's because of these two fantastic women. So,
thank you all. It's a bit unconventional. The company that won the Actuator Prize blown us away from the first moment we saw them. And every time we introduced them to someone, they would be like, oh, so this is possible. And we ourselves thought that, oh, wow, this is possible.
It's a big difference.
Sorry. So the winner is Mon Technologies. They are coming to us live from Singapore. Jamin, I hope you can hear me.
Yes, hi, I'm Maria.
Congratulations, Jamin. You won $10,000. You cannot see us, unfortunately, but we are here on stage holding your check. So maybe a few words from you?
Yes, I'd just like to thank everyone in the MedTech Actuator community. You guys have been great. And I hope everyone is having fun in this demo day event. And I thank so much to everyone who's involved, Maria, Baz, Vishal, Joshua, David. So we hope we can continue to do you guys proud moving forward from here.
Congratulations.
Wonderful. Thank you, Jiaming. And we started the year with Zoom. We're finishing the year with Zoom. For fuck's sake.
You can't say that.
I always say that.
No, you can't say that. It's not time. I'll tell you when it's time to say that. Now, the next award that we're presenting tonight is the J&J Award. So I'm going to invite Kathy Connell, the Senior Director of New Ventures, ANZ for Johnson & Johnson Innovation, to announce the winners for us.
Hello.
Yes.
It's so lovely to be back in the flesh with you all. I drove down from Sydney last night. I was so excited about coming here tonight and seeing so many of you too. I think it's hugely impressive that you were able to put this event on, Buzz and Vishal. And I know I speak on behalf of everybody about how wonderful it is to really see Melbourne come back in the innovation space. At J&J, we've been absolutely thrilled to be part of this journey since 2014, I think it is, pretty much from the inception. We're really committed to the biotech, medtech, innovation ecosystems across Australia, and of course to be in my hometown of Melbourne even more so. We're really excited at J&J to be part of this. I've been watching it, as I said, for 6 or 7 years, and just to see the maturation of the innovation that's coming out of the actuator and the incredibly impressive people who are part of this story, the companies that are coming through, but also all of you who are supporting it. We're really thrilled at J&J to be moving more and more toward looking at, for instance, digital surgeries and mobile surgeries as well. And I was speaking with Sue Martin, who's the Managing Director of Johnson & Johnson Medical, who's sitting just over there. And she was telling me that just today we had our first mobile surgery of knee replacements taking place in Sydney. But nonetheless, you know, it just gives you an idea of how patient care is pivoting to more and more advanced technologies, but in a way that is suitable for patients everywhere. I get to open this envelope now, so I do know what it says. But I could just pretend. So this year's winner of the Johnson & Johnson Innovation Award goes to Vysum. That's the reaction.
That's the kind of reaction we want.
That's the reaction. Would you like to say some words?
I've lost all my words. Thank you everyone here tonight. I hope you're all having a great time. Thank you for your support for Vysum, and we're really excited to get started from MedTech Actuator. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you, wonderful. So now I have the pleasure of inviting Maria, our head of programs, back to the stage for a quick surprise announcement. Maria, welcome back.
Is it a surprise to Maria?
No,
Oh.
nor to me, frankly.
Just thought I'd check.
No.
Thank you. Last week we've put together a surprise award for one of the founders. We called it Superhero Founder Award. We wanted to recognize the hard work, commitment to program and passion of one of the founders in our Accelerator program. That person truly touched us, it blown us away with a level of commitment. I'm going to say they participated in Zoom sessions sometimes from a bus or a train and still managed to ask questions. They were fully committed, and in order to commit to the program, they worked night shifts at the Disability Center while managing 4 kids at home. You guessed it by now, Dylan. Dylan from Yabi Medical.
This has been a passion project of mine, working in Yabi and working with all the people from the MedTech Actuator. The amount of help and support and assistance that they provided, you feel that you have to match the energy and the excitement that they provide. So just grateful for them, grateful for Vishal, Buzz, Maria, Mackenzie, Gobind, Josh, everybody that's involved. Grateful for our team as well, Yabi Medical. The last 2 years that we've been working over COVID have just brought so many challenges and so many different things that have helped us understand about resilience and about support and about friendship and kindness. And our cohort in the MedTech Actuator have been great support and provided that to me as well. So a big round of applause to everybody in the cohort and to our team. So a big thank you.
Well done. Thank you, Maria. Wonderful. So, ladies and gentlemen, Michelle, it's that time of the night where we send you off into the darkness. But we're so grateful to all of our sponsors, all of our friends who have helped us to put on this fantastic showcase tonight. It's been a palpable sense of energy, hasn't it, the whole way through. And it's been great to sit from here and to be able to surf the waves of your enthusiasm and your care. One of the things we often, isn't it, Maria? Isn't it, Michelle? We often... I just saw her over there. So we talk all the time about systems and ecosystems in our space, in the innovation space. But systems are just individuals and organizations relating to other individuals and organizations. And I think our ecosystem holds us. Our systems and our relationships hold us. Our relationships in the MedTech Actuator hold us. Our relationships with all of you hold us. In 2 years, which have been awful across a range of dimensions for many, many people, we just hope from the MedTech Actuator side that you feel just a little bit held by this community and by this ecosystem. We're honored and privileged to be a part of it. And we hope as you go into the new year, as you go into the holiday season, that you feel held by all of those that you love and fear and feel.
And for those of you that remember your friends' names...
Maria.
No, very well said, actually. So we have an ecosystem here in not just the actuator, but in Australia, that really does value courage, and it values the kindness, the paying it forward. And I just really want to acknowledge all of the people in this room that have committed mentorship, sponsorship, championing others, all of us that sit. And our hearts race as our friends take the stage and the people that we've mentored and championed through take the stage. This is not for everyone, and we know that. And if it's not this time, and then maybe it's the next startup, or maybe it's the one after that. But I think, this is a community that we shouldn't take for granted. The genuine care, but also that solidarity and friendship that comes with a system like that. So I'd like you to actually raise your glasses and toast Buzz, Vishal, Mackenzie, Maria, the whole Actuator team, because I think from us in the ecosystem here, there's nothing but gratitude and thanks for what you've built together. So join me to the Actuator.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are concluding our proceedings. Thank you for all of your love, and feel it shone right back at you. There's a Christmassy kind of table decoration. You can fight your table mates to take it home, but it's a small Christmas gift from us to all of you. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for a wonderful night. Thank you for an amazing year under trying circumstances. We look forward to seeing you next year. Happy holidays, everybody. Thank you.